we come in and we're literally code gendering, like for most of the morning, and then it's 7 o'clock p.m. All of a sudden, just. Oh,
it feels.
Mordoria lives on.
Mordoria lives on.
Good evening.
Dude, it's so true though. Like you guys know, if for those, hey.
Today was quite a Monday. Hence the reason why I'm streaming at 9:30 p.m. at night.
Who deletes 8,000 lines of code in 3 days?
Yeah, that's actually crazy. But okay, that's probably just like Git foo for TJ replacing his own Vibe code. You know what I'm saying?
And yes, I am streaming while watching other people stream.
The thing is TJ, he didn't delete this much code. It's just those are just lines moving through the front.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
TJ's like a peer 17 plus right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's see if we get this. Oh my! Wait, my branch is 5 commits behind master.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's put it in. Let's put it in. And then we solved the mysterious spawning bug.
Oh yeah!
Mysterious spawning bug.
Order
hilarious.
You need to search for a string called available textures. That's maybe not true potentially, but just look at it. No, sorry, that's just in the editor. Disregard. You need to search for.
I don't know if you guys watched the Primogen, but he's been vibe coding
how do I get there?
with Cursor to build a tower defense game with a bunch of his friends, who are also, I guess, creators. But they've been really fucking funny streams. And yes, I am. I'm hydrating because somehow I lasted like 3 weeks without getting sick, like the rest of my family, and now I'm sick. So I'm gonna try to hydrate the virus out of me.
I swear this is my life.
It's also why I have a hood on, because it feels better to be kind of warm at the moment. I don't know why.
No, but that's still glorious.
Okay, but here, what we can do is.
ENG212, hi, what's up, man? How are you? First time I've seen you in the chat. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi.
Yeah.
We're not gonna watch the Primogen's stream the whole time, but I was watching it before I started streaming, and I wanted to. I kind of wanted to keep listening for a few more minutes. It's pretty funny watching these guys interact, especially when it gets to the point where they're trying to actually, like, be productive and write working code. You can tell they start to get frustrated with each other.
Well, bottom of a tile, bottom center. What do you think about that?
I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm probably not gonna stream for a long time. I'm doing good, thank you. What about you? I'm doing well. I'm got a sore throat. Just kind of sucky. But other than that, I'm doing good. I went and worked out for about 45 minutes, for an hour, just rode the bike. And I feel much better after doing that. I'm probably riding the post-workout endorphin highs a little bit. But yeah, feeling pretty good. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of coding this evening.
Yeah. It's not on the same base.
Yeah, because we can do.
There's also a shadow sprite that's in there that you can just render underneath anything that's an object.
Go ahead. I think if you guys don't follow the Primogen, you really should. He's just really funny. But like they're having like 24/7 hour streams like this whole week, so you should go check them out. Their stream's really funny. Let's see. Channel, yo, I read your long ass bio. What's a quality engineer? Is my bio really that long, Channel? You really think so? Let's look. I don't know. Objectively, it doesn't seem that long. I think it's actually kind of a question and answer, isn't it? I mean, I guess it's long compared to other people's bios. A quality engineer is basically just somebody who does QA, quality assurance. channel. Have you ever heard of that? But in the software world, primarily a quality engineer's responsibility is two things. They either do manual testing or they do automated testing. And I do both. So I write automated tests, but I also do manual testing. Channel, kind of long. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's been there a while. I wrote it basically as if I was like, if I go to somebody's channel, these are kind of the things I would want to kind of know. But I appreciate you reading it. Super kind of you to take that time out of your day to sit down and read it. Maybe I'll learn some Go. Does that sound interesting? Engineer 212. Hey, I'm an engineer. The ENG stands for engineer. My grandson posts videos here. Nice, very cool. What kind of engineer are you? Because obviously that the engineer term, right, can be very widely used and mean a lot of different things. Channel. All right, I'm about to graduate computer science this year. Is coding dead? No, man. Coding is far from dead. Far, 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 far from it. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be I mean, my opinion, I think there's going to be even more work for developers, programmers, coders. I think there's going to be even more work for them. Channel Go is popping, I think. Yeah, so one of my chatters, a guy by the name of St1E, he's a subscriber, but he usually hangs out in a lot of my streams. I think he's asleep right now. But he started learning Go, and then like a week later, TypeScript announced that they were rewriting their compiler in Go. And so I was like, well, maybe I should learn Go. Not because I need to know Go to be able to use a TypeScript compiler written in Go, but just because it seemed like, hey, if Anders Hallsberg thinks Go is a good language, maybe I should give it a run. Chemical engineer. Nice. Very cool. What industry? ENG 212. What industry were you working? I got my degree in biochemistry. Not really chemical engineering related, but adjacent. Is AI going to take over? No, AI is not going to take over, Scotty. 001. Sudoer. Oh, I like that username, Sudoer. Some ideas for Go projects that are fun to develop. I don't honestly know. I just started learning the rough ideas of coding recently. Or the rough ideas of Go recently. Although I started to look through, they have a bunch of, let's see, if I go to golang.org, they have a bunch of like learn by example around particular areas of interest. Like, so if you're like a web dev or you want to do CLI, or if you're brand new. So this might be an interesting place to find some good ideas. Sudoer. The enlightened, sober, drunk says Jesus loves you. Well, I appreciate that, and that is quite the username you have there. The sober drunk. Suhas, sup? Hey Suhas, how are you doing, man? Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. Trioshi Osh. Any tips for coding? I guess my only tip would be prepared to be a lifelong learner. But I'm happy to give more specifics if you have more specific questions, Trioshi. Engineer 212. Honestly, I forgot. I quit a long time ago. Okay, so you worked as a chemical engineer and you forgot what industry you worked in? I don't know. That seems a little sus, bro. Fake world. That seems like a little personal of a question. But no, I do not. I just cut them. Hunter, sup? Hey, Hunter, what's up, man? How have you been? It's been a long while since I've seen you in my chat. How you doing? Henry Rice, code is dead. Ah, man. You're one of them AI hype bros. Code is not dead. Code is not dead. Tiroshi, yo, you can be a great coding teacher, not gonna lie. Well, I appreciate that, Tiroshi. I taught myself how to code, so that's the only person I've ever taught how to code. But I can definitely pass on what I did, the lessons I learned along my journey. And I'm still learning every day, you know? There's not really a point in which you, like, arrive, it seems like. Jimothy Smithy? No, you are not here, so get the fuck out of here, Jimothy. Jimothy makes me think of The Office. I think there's an Office joke. That's a Jimothy joke. The Office? Jimothy? Yeah. That's what that makes me think of. To be fair, James, Jimothy. Do you like pickled eggs? No, that sounds disgusting. I do not like pickled things. Aside from pickles, I guess. Hunter, good. Well, that's good, Hunter. I'm glad to hear it, man. Glad you're doing well. No, Jimothy. Actually, I think I'm just gonna... Because Jimothy is being weird, so I'm just gonna hide him from the channel. I don't know. That's not a vibe I fuck with. Yeah. I don't go in for the whole code is dead thing. I just don't think that that's a real thing. Code is not dead. All right, so I have a couple ideas. So I can either learn some Go. Yeah, I can learn some Go. Let me check out my GitHub really quick to see if I don't have any new notifications. So nobody's complaining about anything. The other thing I want to do is I've been building this library for interacting with the Anthropic API in C#. And one of the things I want to add to this is support for the admin API. And this is going to be like a whole thing. I want to do that at some point. But I don't know if I really feel up to that. Like, I'm not feeling super productive. So I think learning might be the way to go for this evening. Actually, I'm going to get a cough drop actually real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a cough drop. BRB. Getting cough drop. I'll be right back. Oh, I forgot I muted myself. Sorry, guys. What I was saying is pseudo or no sounds. Yeah. I'm so glad I have you guys to tell me I'm muted now, because in the past when I would just stream to myself, I literally streamed on mute for 2 hours all by myself. So I'm sorry about that. So what I was saying is, okay, you know how like you get a cough drop out of the bag and you unwrap the cough drop, right? Or like this could be also candy. There's candies that have this kind of wrapper, and you take your cough drop out of this. Are you the kind of person that puts the wrapper back in the bag, or do you throw this away? Because there seems to be kind of two camps of people. There's the people that put it back in the bag, and then there's people that get pissed because you put it back in the bag. Okay. That message is no longer useful. Alright, so since I'm feeling a little under the weather, low energy stream, I think I'm just gonna keep learning Go. We've all been there, man, talking to voicemail to an hour because I didn't know they hung up. Yeah, I was so mad. It was like a Friday night. I was streaming. There was nobody watching, obviously, because when you first start streaming, you have like 0 viewers, right? And yeah, then I realized after getting off the stream, Shake White. What language is this? There's no. I don't have anything on the screen. There's just PowerShell. Just the terminal's open at the moment. But I think I'm gonna learn some Go. Shake White. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Some Go. Artwork Studios. Wow, I'm not late. What's up, Artwork Studios? How you doing, man? It's been a minute. Timothy Williams. I definitely put it back in the bag though. W, Tim, because that's me. Suhas, Go. Yeah, actually, so I think I switched last night. I was learning some Go last night, and I actually switched over to learning the web dev by example, which was much more engaging. So I think I'm going to keep doing that. Artwork, fine. How about you? I've been good, man. I had a little bit of a crazy day today. I went and volunteered at my kid's school for the first part of the day. And then when I came home from that, I wasn't feeling the best. My throat was real scratchy. And so yeah, I didn't really do much this afternoon except work a little bit. And then I worked out at about 8 o'clock tonight. And I'm feeling better. So now I'm just trying to ride the post-endorphin highs. Shake White says, learn Python and C++. I do know Python, but I do not know C++. And I don't, although I know Python, Shake White, I don't reach for it as like a primary language. I'm actually working through, speaking of AI, I'm actually working through a book right now called Building Large Language Models. That's pretty good. Shake White, C, memory management and string handling is a mess. Yeah, I don't know anything about C or C++, never written in them. Sharath, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you? Thanks for stopping by the stream. We appreciate you. All right. So let me clone this here. So I wrote I wrote my first small little, let's see, go run. See if this works. Is this working? Localhost 80. Oh, we have to allow it. Look at there. So I'm a Go web developer now. What's your first language? Python? No, my first language would probably be TypeScript or C#. Like that's the language I would reach for first. The first language I learned was JavaScript. Really, that was probably the first coding language that I really was adept at. Sharath, it's good to hear. Sharath, good to hear you doing good, man. Boston Sports Cards, hi. Hey, Boston, how are you? Artwork Studio is my first is JavaScript. Yeah, I think JavaScript is I think that's the best first language. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I just think it's the best in terms of being able to. Once you learn it, you can basically build whatever you want to build. You don't have to be too concerned with typing, which I think early on is kind of an impediment when you're trying to learn. But then the benefit of it is then very quickly you can switch over. If you want to start learning more about static typing, you can very quickly switch over and learn TypeScript, and you're in the statically typed world. Boston, I'm going to say it now. I'm sorry for being up. Yeah, Boston, don't even worry about that, man. Yeah, don't even concern yourself with that. Hero, I think Python. Hero, you think Python's the best first language? Boston, I like your sweatshirt. Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm got kind of a sore throat, and for whatever reason, it feels good to be cozy at the moment. Oh yeah, what Boston's talking about, Logan. Yeah, they just they seem to have added a little bit in the chat sometimes, separate from what we're all doing. Hey Steven, hope you feel better. I can't stay. I have finals, 2 mock trials coming up, so I'm swamped right now. Have a good night. Yeah, Tim, go prep, man. And good luck with your mock trials, dude. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Appreciate you, man. It's very nice of you. All right. So, since I'm now a Go web developer, I think the next thing I'm going to do is learn how to build an HTTP server. So, let's go back to this. Well, I'm not going to build an HTTP server. I'm going to use the Go built-in HTTP server. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got to type go init mod, and then we have to do, what do we have to do? We have to do web and go HTTP server. Oh, we should actually, hold on. We should try to be consistent with our, yeah, okay. CD into the server, go mod init, web in go / HTTP server. Okay. Let's see, Boston. Any new projects? No, not really, Boston. Just pretty much the same side projects that I've been working on. That I've been basically trying to get to like a wrapped up point. And then we actually, I guess we started a new one, which is to try to learn Go at the same time. Artwork. Well, I can't stay either as I'm going to school now, so bye. See you soon, Steven. Well, Artwork Studios, you have a good day at school, man. Thanks for stopping in. Steven, I don't know about Kansas, but it's in Massachusetts. It's raining right now. Yeah, the weather here's been pretty decent the last couple of days. A little chilly, considering it's March, but no rain. Life is good. I'm definitely ready for just warm weather. I'm tired of the winter. But what are you going to do, right? It's part of living in the Midwest. We get all the seasons. Like, we can get all the seasons in the same day, basically. Alright, so in this example, you'll learn how to create a basic HTTP server. Nice. It's so funny to me. Like, I can just look at this, like, if you've written an HTTP server or used the HTTP server in any language, whether it be Node, whether it be JavaScript in Node or C#, building web APIs, every one kind of looks like this. So we import net HTTP, then we call the handle function. We define some root or route, and then we have a callback. All right, I think I'm not gonna copy paste this. I just want to write it because I feel like I need some rep. I should have some reps write and go. So let's say new item is going to be server.go. Or should it be, yeah, I'm just going to call it server.go. Tim, I'll drop in later if you're on and stay the rest of the stream if I can. I appreciate that, Tim. No worries, though, man. If you're busy and you got trials, do that. Let's see, Boston. I'm so glad you have so many subs. It's funny. I remember when I found your channel, you had 200 subs. Now you're at 800 or something. Yeah, I mean, when I started making videos again at the beginning of this year, I had 20. I mean, I had like 20 subscribers on my channel for like many years. I mean, even right now, if you look, there's like 700 something videos on my channel. Like over 600 of those were posted more than 2 years ago. So I've been making content for a long time on YouTube, and with very few subscribers. And I fully am prepared to go back to a world where I have 0 subscribers or 20 subscribers again. So anybody who does subscribe, I'm appreciative of it, but I definitely don't expect it. Boston, you are still my favorite YouTuber / streamer. Oh, I appreciate that, Boston. Suhas, first 1,000 will happen soon, I think. Well, that would be pretty crazy to have 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to the numbers. The one thing I have paid attention to has been with streams. It's the reason why I stream horizontally. Is I get way more interaction, and people seem to find my streams much more when I stream not horizontally, vertically. And I think that's because it shows up in the shorts feed, and horizontal streams don't. So that's kind of the one thing I have paid attention to metric wise. But other than that, I tried to just make content that I enjoy, and I feel better when I make the content. Like, I feel more productive. So that's why I do it more than anything. Boston, I am a OG. Yeah, pretty much, man. I bet there's people, though, that have been subscribed to me since I was doing fitness and vlogs and stuff. So Sharath, today's the first day I found you and I just subscribed. Well, I appreciate that, Sharath. That's very kind of you. And if you come to like my stuff, I appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to write a little bit of Go here to get ourselves a server. Okay, so package main, import, and then we're going to do FMT, no comma. That's gonna be hard for me. The lack of comma and the lack of semicolon is going to be tough for me. Func main. I'm also probably going to end up typing function about half a dozen times before. Let's see. Okay, so this is our main function. I'm actually going to disable Copilot because I don't really want Copilot trying to write the Go for me. I'd rather write it myself since I've not written very much of it. Okay, so now we need to say HTTP, which is in scope because we're importing it up here, which was kind of weird to me. Like, you know, in like JavaScript, right? Or even, yeah, in JavaScript, right? You have this idea of like import HTTP from, right? Same thing in Python's kind of the same way. But this is much more like C#, where, you know, in C# you can say using system, and then all of a sudden you get access to console. It's kind of the same idea here in Go. So it's because I imported the net HTTP package, I have the HTTP in scope, and I can say handle func, and then I'm going to say func. So this is my callback. So this is kind of interesting because this is basically a lambda, right? This is basically an anonymous function. Which is more JavaScript-y, right? Because JavaScript, you can do the same thing. And I guess because they use func instead of function, this is probably terse enough where you don't need something like this type of syntax. Which, is this valid? Can you do this? Go lambdas. Huh. Yeah, I'm guessing that's not valid. Okay, so let's just follow the directions, Steven. Boston, you deserve it, meaning all the views, likes, comments. Oh, I appreciate that, Boston. I don't know if I deserve it, but it's definitely appreciated, you know? There are some really, what I want to say. There are some really smart, funny, creative creators on YouTube, and I would never stack myself up against them. Like Web Dev Cody, the Primeagen, Marco, Code. Is it Tech with Marco or Code with Marco? There's several people I follow on YouTube that I just think are wonderful creators. Yeah, I would never put myself up there with them, but I do appreciate this the sentiment. Okay, fprint. So we're gonna print the response, and we're gonna say welcome to my website. Let's see, cannot use. Huh. Oh, this should be HTTP response writer. It would help if I could type correctly. Lee, new here. What are you building? I'm actually learning how to write Go, Lee, at the moment. And so I'm building a small little HTTP server. So I'm going through some code examples. This on this website called Go Web Examples, and so that's what I'm doing right now. Boston, has Hunter come? Yeah, I haven't seen Hunter around. Oh no, Hunter I saw. Logan I have not seen. Hunter was actually here earlier. He may have dipped already. Suhas, how long it take to learn Vim? So I started working. So I primarily had been writing code in VS Code for the last 4 years. That was kind of my daily driver. Occasionally, I would play around with Visual Studio when I needed it. Sometimes I would use Writer. I've tried things like WebStorm. So I've tried a lot of editors, but VS Code was kind of my daily driver. Then I switched over to NeoVim at the beginning of the year, and that's when I started doing, that's when I started the whole Vim Motions thing. And it probably, I still wouldn't consider myself learned, but before it became like, it took like a good 4 to 8 weeks before like navigating and changing modes started to feel second nature. And now it's gotten to the point where whenever I'm in something like Word or a WYSIWYG editor or any kind of text editor thing, I find myself trying to do Vim Motions. So yeah, I would say give yourself 4 to 8 weeks, and just suffer through the what I want to call it. Just suffer through the pain at the beginning. You just kind of have to embrace the suck when you're learning. Sharath, do you stream once a day or once a week? I try to stream once a day, Sharath, and normally it's at 2 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. That's the one time a day I try to aim for, and yeah, and so what Boston said, Boston also said twice a day. So I'll usually try to aim for 2 p.m. CST for an actual stream where I'm kind of coding or working on a project, and then another time during the day, either in the morning or in the afternoon, I'll try to do a stream that's more like just chatting with you guys, not really working on stuff, but just talking. Domo Shiki says, "Where's your neck, bro?" It's here. I promise. I have one. It's in there. But I decided to go hood up this evening because I don't know. It just feels like not feeling super well. The feeling of being like cozy and warm makes me feel a little better, so that's why the hood's up this evening. But normally I do not stream with a hood on. Normally I do not rock the Mr. Robot vibes. Sorry for swearing. Oh, when did you swear, man? I swear all the time. Here, watch. Fuck. Yeah, don't even worry about that. That's probably the most liberal thing me and my wife do with our kids. We let them swear. I mean, to me, they're just words. In my opinion. And you can use the words correctly, and you can use the words incorrectly. There's a time and a place for them, and then there's not a time and a place for them. So yeah, the swearing doesn't bother me. I would be a very big hypocrite if the swearing was an issue. Yeah, man. All right, so where was I? So we were working on doing a little follow along coding here. All right, so that's our initial handler. Okay, but this is how now we serve static files, which is important, right? If you're going to build an HTTP server, you probably want to know how to serve static files. Okay, so file server, and then you say HTTP dir static, okay? And then you say, oh, that's interesting. So this instantiates a file server, and then you say HTTP, you defined a route handler that looks for that route. And then we're going to strip strip the prefix. And then I guess you're just going to delegate to the file server is what this is. This is some sort of delegation. Yeah, so it's basically the FS is its own handler. That thing. What is this thing? It's just the HTTP handler. Okay, easy enough. And then you actually have to start the server, obviously. So then come down here and you say http.listen and serve. And we'll say we're going to listen on port 80. And then this is going to be nil. God, I so bad want to type semicolon. So does Go allow semicolons? Go. Semicolons or not? Go's grammar, similar to C, utilizes semicolons to terminate statements. However, unlike C, these semicolons are not explicitly written in the source code. Instead, the lexer automatically inserts them based on a simple rule. So it's like JavaScript. But I like semicolons. Personally. I like braces and semicolons. Oh, for those of you, for those of you guys who write Python, I've got something funny to show you. Also, Suhas, if you're still here, and you're interested in learning Vim or Vim motions generally, because you don't have to use, in order to use Vim motions, you don't have to use NeoVim or Vim. Like you can learn Vim motions and use them in VS Code. You can use them in Zed. I mean, there's a lot of editors that support it. So what I was gonna say is there's a website. It's like Vim. I'm just gonna type Vim game. Is it this Vim Adventures? Yeah, this was a really fun website. It's called Vim Adventures. Here, I'm gonna put it in chat. If you're interested in learning Vim, this was really helpful when I was first getting started. Fun game to learn Vim motions. So Suhas, if you're still here, you should check that out. But what I was going to say, if you write Python code, look at this. There's something called Python, which is Python with braces. So if you would rather have braces in your Python, you can do that. All right, I got to go get another cough drop. I'll be right back. And I got to blow my nose. I know, TMI, but let's see, BRB, need cough drop. Suhas says why? Because Suhas, braces are awesome. Boston, to answer your question about the 2025 NBA championship, I honestly don't know. Can I just say the Lakers? I don't follow it close enough. And don't let me forget that I'm muted. I remembered. I was muted. Suha says, how do you handle dictionary? Oh, Boston, yeah. I literally forgot. You're a Celtics fan, so I couldn't have picked the worst team. But Suhas, I actually don't know how you would handle dictionaries. That's a really good question. Let's see if they address that in the README. I didn't think about that. There's Python. I wonder if you just double up. I honestly don't know. I think they get stripped. Look at this issue. Oh my goodness, the internet is just so freaking funny. Oh, whoops. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm guessing they probably do some sort of smart thing to handle dictionaries. I've never used it. I just saw it the other day and thought, oh, this is really funny. Juan Dobiak. Zinispri. I don't know what that is. Juan Dobiak. What is this? Well, this is just a stream that involves code, chat, and coffee, which I don't have any at the moment, but yeah, that's what the stream is. I'm Matt. What are we doing today? We're learning Go, Matt. Right now, we're in the middle of writing our first little HTTP server in Go. Although I kind of want to understand. So to serve static files like JavaScript, CSS images, we use the inbuilt HTTP file server and point it to a URL path. For the file server to work properly, it needs to know where to serve files from. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I think with the way I have this written right now, if I do, so let's do this, right? Let's create a folder called static. Let's do index.html. What do we want to write here? We want to do HTML5 snippet, and then let's just put a script tag in here. Let's see, script. And then let's just call window.alert hello from Go, like that. I think window.alert, yeah, that's right. Okay, and then we should be able to say go run dot, like this. And that's going to ask me if I want to allow this to have connections. And then I should be able to say go to localhost 80. Right? So we get the response, which is good. And then we should be able to go static index.html. There we go. Look at that. I'm officially a Go web developer now. Juan, I like it. Nice, man. I'm Matt. Cool. I was learning Ruby. Oh, very cool. Yeah. I've heard good things about Ruby. Juan, I'm so new, but I want to learn Python. Juan, you should... Juan, I mean, I want you to learn what you want to learn, but honestly, if you're wanting to start programming, you don't know anything about programming, I would point you towards JavaScript myself. I'm Matt. Go is more easy than Java or Python. I'm not sure if Go is easier than Java or Python. I personally would think if you're learning a language for the first time, I would probably start with a loose language, like a dynamically typed language myself. I think that would be much more accommodating to a new user. Boston, how's Lane? Lane's good. My brother's doing well. He's not a troll, but yeah, he's doing well. He's just he's over there in his town, in his city, trying to live life, you know. Ducky Dev, I've been making my database and it's been bloody awesome. What's your database, Ducky Dev? Like you're building your own database? Sappy, hello Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I was saying I kind of have like a Mr. Robot vibe going on with the hood. But yeah, Mark Zuckerberg would be accurate as well. Boston, I gotta go, but good to chat. I'll be in some upcoming streams. Thanks for reading my comments. Yeah, Boston, thanks for hanging out with us, man. See ya. I'm Matt Ella. Good job. I appreciate it. Juan Yun Kim, my guy, all you did was use the packages. Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, what else are you? I mean, what else do you do in other languages? You just use the packages. Did you implement your own HTTP server for your Node app? No, you just said import create server from HTTP. That's what we all do. We stand on the shoulders of giants. That way we can solve more interesting problems. Ducky Dev, yeah. Yeeter, can you say I'm a gooner? I don't even know what that is. Suhas, CS50, CS50X, or CS50P. I would start here. Suhas, I love both of those courses. CS50X, CS. Honestly, if you guys don't know who David Malin is, how many people know who David Malin is? In the chat. Say W in the chat if you know who David Malin is. Ducky Dev, yes, it still doesn't have a name, but made like MongoDB. Okay, so it's a document database. Very cool, very cool. Oh, Yeeter, you're out of here, man. You're out, bro. Ducky Dev says me. Yeah, so if you guys don't know who David Malin is, I don't even care if you don't. I don't even care. Like, if you don't like programming, you don't like coding, that's fine. But you should watch David Malin teach CS50, because I challenge you to watch this man teach and give a lecture and not be excited about coding and programming. Like I just wish everybody could have a professor or a teacher like him. He's just fantastic. But yeah, if you're interested in code, definitely agree with Suhas. Check out CS50. If you're not interested in code, you should at least go watch one of his lectures so that you'll have a new benchmark for what a good teacher is. Ducky Dev, yes, very secure, can handle 10,000 document entries per second. Wow. So Ducky, what are you implementing it in? What language? That's awesome, man. That's very impressive. I could never. That's like Giga Chad level developer stuff. Building your own database. I'm Matt. Try to make your own language programming. Yeah, your own programming language, I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, I've heard that's a really good exercise. I've heard people say that it's a really great way to learn about building a parser and building a lexer, and I've never done it. But it feels like maybe that's a good rite of passage for anybody who's learned to code. Juan says, I can't write, but I can understand. I build a web stock system for ISP companies thanks to ChatGPT. I wish I knew someone, though, that could help me finish it. I think it is almost done. Well, just a few things. Well, okay, Juan, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a little sus that you've actually built it just with ChatGPT. Azim Khan. What's up, brother? Hey, what's up, Azim? Ducky Dev, Node.js. So you built a document database in JavaScript? Interesting. Very interesting. Warrior Cats, Ravenpaw. Hi, what's up, Warrior Cats? Suhas, I need a render engine. What do you need a render engine for, Suhas? That's probably not one you want to build yourself, right? Ducky Dev, yep. That's interesting, Ducky Dev. I've never heard of anybody building a database with a language like JavaScript. The highest level language I've heard of somebody building a database with is C#. So if you know what RavenDB is, RavenDB is all built in C#. Suhas, I meant I made one. Oh, wow, you built your own rendering engine? Wow. Juan, I'll get on my computer right now just to share it with all of you. Yeah, Juan, post, share your GitHub repo. Guys, remember, copy and paste from GPT is not programming. No, I mean it's not really. I mean, I don't want to discredit people that build stuff that way. Like, I think that's great now that people can use AI to code that don't know how to code. So I don't want to discredit anybody. You know, I don't want to make anyone feel bad about that, using it that way. I guess I just meant like I'm suspicious that you have the system you described. What was it? A web stock system. I have suspicion that you have a complete web stock system implemented completely by ChatGPT. Like, it actually works, it's functional, it doesn't have bugs. Because my experience with AI generated code is that it usually requires some refinement. Suhas, designed my own processor called Luna, named after my cat. Well, that's very cool, Suhas. Ducky, it uses BSON and encrypts it. It uses JWT in transit to prevent sniffing. Okay. Interesting, Ducky. That sounds like a very interesting project. I'd love to take a look at it once you get it squared away. So you're using BSON, and you're using a JWT for authentication. So I guess you're connecting to this thing over HTTP. It's just kind of interesting. I mean, most databases do not work that way. FD, hey, hello, how are you doing? I can't even pronounce your username, but you said, hi, I found your channel after so much time later. Hello, what's up, man? How are you doing? Azim, one of the non-tech founders shared that they made their application via Cursor AI. Now they are suffering from multiple problems as customers are bypassing their subscription and whatnot. Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that, Azim, because I was me and a couple coworkers have a Discord, and we were getting what was it? I saw it on. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it on X was where I saw it. I'm guessing it's similar to what you're talking about. One sec. Let me see if I can find the thing I shared in that Discord. Excuse me. Because we were talking about basically vibe coders, and we were saying that maybe a good business idea would be to start a consultancy where our only job, or like, excuse me, the only thing we focus on is fixing or maintaining vibe coded systems. I can't find it. God, was it that many messages ago? Jesus Christ. I guess it was. But yeah, Azim, I think I saw the same thing you saw. This is what I saw. I think this might be what Zim's referring to. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks people. I mean, I think it's awesome that people are building stuff. I think maybe people are not being totally honest with what they're building and how capable it is. Juan, I know it's not programming. That's why I said I can't write, but thanks to ChatGPT and building that thing with it, it helped me learn a lot quite fast. Yeah, Juan, and I don't want to discredit you or make you feel lesser than or anything. I as somebody who has built like maybe not complex, but maybe like moderately complex apps, like I would put a web stock system, like a web app to manage stock or inventory. I would put that on the more complex side of things, especially if a business is going to use it, right? It's kind of one of those mission critical type of systems, a system of record. And so, yeah, I would just be, I would be questioning, right, whether ChatGPT actually implemented everything correctly. I'm Matt. Today I saw one application that all was right with GPT, was very pretty UI, but with many bugs in the console of Chrome. I think that's okay to use to help you sometimes. Agreed. But use it every time. It's like prompt engineer, not software. Agree, Matt. And I think, again, I think AI has a place. I just am skeptical, right? I don't know if any of you guys follow the Primeagen, but his streams all this week have been them trying to build a tower defense game using AI, right? And it's been very entertaining, and I think enlightening to watch a bunch of very seasoned developers and engineers work with this AI tool that supposedly people are using to build these very complex systems, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical. Ducky Debit uses queues and workers to process database entries, has a shard file so it won't have to wait for one worker to finish writing to it, queues so that it will not overwhelm the server. Yeah, Ducky, your project sounds badass, man. It sounds very, very cool. So if you ever get it to a point where you want to share it publicly, like, I would love to take a look at it. Azim, yes, that's what I was talking about. Okay, yeah, so I saw the same thing you saw, Azim, yeah, so... Yeah, so after I saw that, I shared that with those two colleagues, and I was like, hey, business idea. We will be the fixers and the maintainers of all the vibe-coded systems that are produced in the next year or 2 years, right? Because there will, I mean, it kind of reminds me a lot of like, have any of you guys ever done much work with like WordPress or Squarespace or any of these like low code, no code tools? Because I have, and that's what I used before I even like could program or code. I used a lot of those tools to make things and put things on the internet and to run some businesses and stuff. And what you find with all those tools is they're really good to get you from 0 to 1. Right? So you don't have a website and you need a website. WordPress, Squarespace, they're great for that. But the minute that business person or whoever was the person that used that tool to get, going, the minute they want to do something very specific or more sophisticated, sorry if I could talk, they inevitably end up hiring somebody, right? And 9 times out of 10, they end up hiring somebody who is a programmer or a developer. They just do all their programming and development now in a no-code tool like WordPress or Squarespace or any number of CMSs out there. Juan, GPT actually didn't, but sure hell did tons. Well, I'm not going to argue with Juan that ChatGPT can write lots of generated code. I would never argue with that. I just think Juan... How do I say this in the nicest way? I would be interested to see you, Juan, get that system up, deployed, publicly accessible, and have real users using it, and you not have any issues or bugs or problems that would require you to intervene and fix. And maybe ChatGPT can help you fix them. I don't know, but I would just be curious. Laura, hi, what you doing tonight? Laura, I am currently trying to learn Go, but at the same time, I'm talking to you all. So we actually just wrote a little HTTP server to let's see. Let's go back over here. I shut it down. We just wrote a little HTTP server that serves static files. I'm not a Go developer. I primarily write TypeScript and C#, but the other day I got a wild hair and thought, you know what? Go seems like it might be cool. It was kind of like a moment of inspiration brought on by the TypeScript compiler rewrite in Go, and one of my subscribers also learning Go at the same time. So I was like, I don't know. I think I'll take a look at that. So that's what's happening at the moment. And then largely what happens when I try to stream like this and also write code at the same time is I get distracted because I'm talking to you all. J Void Lux. Hi there. Hello, J Void Lux. First time I've seen you in the chat. Juan. Oh, no, absolutely. That's why I said I would need an actual program to give it a look and fix a lot of things. You are not wrong with what you said, and you don't need to try to be nice. Well, Juan, I was I wasn't trying to like put kid gloves on with you. I didn't want to be like, I don't want to come across as like a jerk, you know, who looks down on people who write code with AI, because I don't. So it sounds like we're on the same page. Ducky Dev, not gonna lie, you should create a Discord server. Yeah, Ducky, we have one. So if you go to my channel description, or I guess, I mean, it's not really in my channel description, is it? It's like in the links on my channel. We have a Discord. And there's like 12 of us in there right now, so it's pretty small. But we're all good people. So yeah, if you're interested, you can go join. Actually, I guess I could pop that into chat, couldn't I? That might be easier for you guys. I don't know if the links are actually clickable. Yeah. There you go. Let's see. DNS. Nice username there, buddy. Thoughts about mobile apps using AI models through APIs? DNS, do you mean you make a request to an AI model and then the AI model actually uses the apps on your phone? Is that what you're saying? Like kind of like an agentic type thing? Pigeon, yo. What's up, Pigeon? How you guys doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you? Vishal, hi. Hello, Vishal. How are you doing? Vishal, what are you doing? I'm actually taking a gander at trying to learn Go at the moment, Vishal. Skull, do you have to pay to use PowerShell? No, PowerShell's free, and actually, so PowerShell historically was a Windows-based terminal, right? And it's kind of confusing because there is two versions of PowerShell. So there's Windows PowerShell, right? And so this one is specific to a Windows machine. But there is PowerShell and it's cross-platform now. So you can use it on Linux, Mac, Windows, and that's just your plain old PowerShell. And it's free. So it's free, cross-platform. And I'm pretty sure it's open source. I could be wrong. It may not be totally open source, but it's my preferred terminal to work with on Windows. Pigeon, NeoVim and Windows. Mixed emotions. Well, I appreciate you, Pigeon. I'm glad I could make you feel something. Let's see. Ducky, accept my guild application to join. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Let's see. We get you accepted here. One sec. Ducky. There you go. You're in, Ducky. Boom, it was that easy. Juan says, don't lie, you're mostly chatting then learning Go. Yes, it is mostly chat at the moment. I feel bad because like the minute I start to like focus on writing the Go, then it's like I see the chat move and it's like, oh, I'm ignoring this group of people who are all in the chat, which doesn't feel good. Vishal, is Grok dangerous? I don't think so. I haven't heard. I mean, I've used Grok. I don't think it's any more, I guess, dangerous than the other foundation models that are out there. Skull, cool. Yeah, PowerShell is cool, man. You should check it out. It's definitely different. If you're coming from something like Bash, or if you're coming from like a Linuxy, Unixy, terminal, it's different. But I think you'll like it. Pigeon, I made a CLI app in Go like 4 days ago. People low-key liked it. Want to see it? Yeah, Pigeon, sure. Would love to. Let's see, Suhas. What are your thoughts on Linux and WSL? Yeah, I think they're great. I have Ubuntu set up on my Windows machines. I set up WSL with Linux. And I use ZSH as the terminal, and I use OMI ZSH. So I think Linux on WSL is great. I think Windows. I think people knock me a lot for developing on Windows machine primarily. But in my opinion, with WSL, you kind of get the best of both worlds. I also have Linux VPSs that I can SSH into if I want to do Linuxy things, right? So if I want the real, bare metal experience. But WSL is perfectly fine. And the thing with having a Windows daily driver is you don't have to make any compromises when it comes to like content creation or productivity things. Whereas if you had a Linux daily driver, you very quickly get yourself into a situation where now you're having to build applications from source, and you kind of fall down a rabbit hole really quickly. Brandon, what's up, buddy? I'm currently on the edge of burning out working on one of my Next.js code bases. Henry Rice, no one voted for Elon. Well, yes. Henry, oh, you found your way back to us. Henry's also the guy that said code is dead. Brandon, I'm sorry about your burnout, man. I've been watching Prime's Treehouse 2. That's an oh man, those Prime streams the last 3 or 4 days. Oh man, if you're working or you're just hanging out or you're working out or whatever, you should totally be putting those streams on. They're hilarious. Let's see. I guess, Brandon, I'm curious why you're feeling burnt out, man. Is it just Next.js is giving you struggles? Ducky Dub says Next.js is a pain. Pigeon says TS is pain, man. Pigeon, really? You don't like TypeScript? Man, I love me some TypeScript. Ducky Dev says, oh man, TS is an absolute crap show. I love myself some TypeScript. I do feel your guys' point on Next.js though. Next.js. Okay, so here's my biggest pain. I built 2 or 3 sites with Next.js. Actually, one of the favorite sites I've ever built is built on Next.js. It's basically like, so if any of you are familiar with like GIS on GitHub, it's basically a GIS clone, but it's oriented towards a very specific flavor of JavaScript. And this is built with Next.js. It's hosted on Vercel. The biggest pain point to me with Next.js is I know they fixed it. They tried to make things better in 15, but the damn caching in Next.js was so frustrating prior to 15's release. So frustrating. Ducky says Next.js is just too many features. It's confusing. Brandon Gottschall says fine though. Yeah, man, I feel your pain about being burnt out. Sometimes it's helpful to have other projects, Brandon, to work on when you start to feel that burnout. Sometimes it's nice to have something you can switch to, kind of like a palette cleanser. Suhas says, I like outdated packages. Guess what Linux distro I use? Which one do you use, Suhas? Pigeon, my biggest problem with TS is people want to do everything with it. Well, I understand your critique, Pigeon, you know, because I would agree there's probably better languages better suited for certain things. But when it's the thing you know, right, when it's the one tool in your tool belt, that's kind of what you end up with. Ducky Dev says Debian. Brandon, I'm over here treading water. Well, Brandon, I don't want you to be like that. Skulls, I just need to be accepted. Oh, yep, let me check, man. Sorry. All right, there you go. You're in. You're in, bruh. Ducky says, man, I use Mac Linux. Mac Linux. Care to elaborate? Talking about projects, I have like 25 projects I haven't done. I currently have 4 side projects, or I guess 3 side projects that I just need to get finished. Because I do not like starting projects and not finishing them. I do not fall into that developer trope. So if I start a project, I get it to a finishing point. It may not be like feature complete, but like it's at a point where I'm happy with it. And right now I've got like 3 that I need to kind of get to that place. Ducky Dev says, I use a Mac theme on Ubuntu because Mac UI is fire. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. If you look at do you guys know who DHH is? DHH. David Hannemeyer Hansen. I always have to look up his name before I say it because I screwed up every time. But he just recently released he called it Omakub. I don't know if that's how you say it. But this is basically, it very much feels like a setup of Ubuntu that's supposed to make it feel like Mac, which is kind of cool. Because I agree, Mac UI is pretty nice. Brandon, 100% co-sign the Primeagen shout out. Yeah, so good. So good. Brandon, Theo T3's content is often pretty useful too. You know, Brandon, here's the thing with Theo. Like, he is probably, let's see, Busy Box. Oh, dang, I just saw you're in Olathe. I'm in North KC, but I grew up in OP. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm in Olathe. Yeah, just south of Kansas City. Brandon, what I was gonna say is Theo's content. I find Theo a little bit condescending. I don't know if that's gonna get me canceled, but like the way he presents himself, it always feels like he's trying to elevate himself above you. I mean, he obviously is a very knowledgeable individual. But I feel like he's that guy that's always trying to prove he's the most knowledgeable in the room. I don't know. So sometimes I have a hard time hanging in on his videos. Draven Rios? What a random question, man. Aiden Man Edit says, name a car for an edit. Toyota Corolla. Brandon, it's not dying, just turning into a meta role. Pigeon says, I'm blocked in Theo's chat. Aiden, man, edits, bruh. Yeah, you don't like Toyota Corolla for your edit? Let's see, Pigeon says, I wasn't toxic or anything, I just disagreed. Yeah, I guess I don't Pigeon, I'm not like I probably am not as much of a supporter of Theos as I am like the Primogen or supporter or follower, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just the content that I've consumed of Theos, that's how, to me, he just comes off as that guy that's like always trying to, this like feels like he has so much to prove, I guess, or something. And I don't know, maybe that works for some people. It just doesn't work for me. But there's definitely videos I've watched of his and I've learned things for sure. Also, I'm some random dude in Kansas. What does my opinion matter? He's obviously a very successful individual. Yeah, for the information. Totally get it, man. Totally get it, Brandon. All right, guys. I think I have like a few more minutes before I'm going to jump because my throat's starting to bother me. I should probably, when you're sick, I don't think shorting yourself of sleep is the best course of action. Yeah, totally agree, Brandon. He's obviously a very, very knowledgeable individual. You guys like my ginormous water bottle? I'm going to try to hydrate away my illness. Juan, do you work as a developer for any company? Nope, Juan, I am not employed as a developer or a programmer. My title where I work is a senior quality engineer. And basically the only code I really write at work is for writing automated tests. I occasionally build stuff for other departments in our company when they need like the ability of somebody who can write code. So sometimes I'll get farmed out to do kind of like side quests. But yeah, most of the work I've done as like a programmer, coder, developer has just been for my own learnings, my own projects. Lucky GV, are you that Brad dude from? No, I'm not. Ducky, I have 1 hour of sleep. Ooh, that's rough, man. Hyung Kim says use cursor and vibe code. Yeah, it's not struck me as a fun activity. Ducky says last night I slept for 0 hours. Eek. Brandon, I've been on a grind set lately. Well, that's fantastic, Brandon. You're being productive. Brandon, that's what I've been doing for burnout. It's work somewhat. Hydrate or die. That's what we did in the Corps. Oh, very cool. Brandon, you served? That's awesome, man. Thank you for your service. Ducky Dev, me too. It's 9:20 p.m. Did not last night. Man, you guys are intense. No sleep? Whew. See, Brandon, I'm on 5.5. Brandon, it's super productive if you enjoy progress. Yeah, I mean, I guess lack of sleep is definitely it's definitely a productivity strategy. Pigeon Yo, I requested to join your Discord. Of course, man. Let me get you on the list. There you go. You're in. Everyone's power flickered. Oh, now I'm looking at Discord. Sorry, guys. I'm getting distracted. Oh, very cool. Hey, Busybox, thank you. I appreciate you sending me that other server invite. I will definitely join. I love that Discord's image. Brandon, like the productivity thing was about cursor, not sleep. That's hilarious though. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have not done the cursor thing. I've definitely used AI. I have not actually used one of these like AI centered things. I have enjoyed watching the Primogen get frustrated by cursor though. That has been fun to watch. Pigeon yeah, I saw it, man. I'll have to check that out. Brandon, like it's satisfying. Well, nice. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, it is satisfying. Speaking of Garmin and speaking of Olathe, there's actually a pretty crazy story in the news here. There's a individual guy. I wonder if those guys in that Discord actually know him. Austere says, hello, Brazil loves you. So hot. Oh, that is random, man. Yeah, Brazil. Random. Alright, was they gonna have me do any other I think this was the end of this tutorial. Literally, I just set up serving static files. And so now I move on to routing. But I don't think I want to start going down this path at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, use pointers for response writer. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. So if you have Pigeon, if you have any advice for me on this, please let me know. I was just following along with that tutorial. So this is a pointer here. Is that what the asterisk means? Yeah, probably not save the brain dog. Yeah. I think I'm gonna hop here in a minute. But I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. Pigeon, do you have Mason and Neovim? I do. I do have Mason. I'm using Go PLS. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the best LSP, but that's the one I set up. Pointer, send a 32 or 64 bit of where that object is in memory. Yes, go play. Yeah, so like a pointer is like passing by reference. Brandon, it's been real. Add me to the Discord. I want to know when you go live. I'm chilling, coding, watching streams a lot. Nice, Brandon. That's what I do too, man. So that's awesome. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, I appreciate Brandon, man. Appreciate it a lot. Ducky, the DB you made is in a single file? No way. That's crazy. Gordak, what's this, TypeScript? No, this is actually Go. I don't know Go. I'm not really a Go developer, but I decided to try to take a shot at learning Go. So what I'm doing right now is learning about how a basic HTTP server works in Go. But normally, yeah, like normally my kind of primary languages are TypeScript or C#. No Python. Sometimes I write Python. Actually, the latest project I have going on right now in Python is I bought this book called Building a Large Language Model. And the whole book is basically in Python, which I know Python. I just don't really reach for it on a regular. Yeah, what Ducky said, it's a Go. I don't know. I know a lot of people are in love with Python. It's never grabbed me over the last 4 or 5 years of learning how to program and code. It hasn't gotten me. Brandon, TypeScript mentioned. Yeah. Pigeon, you can use Golang CI lint alongside Go please too. It's like ESLint for TypeScript. Golang CI hint. Okay, very cool. Let me see, linter. What did you say? You said Golang CI lint. Okay, yeah, it's right there. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. Yeah, my NeoVim configuration for Go development is very weak, right? Like I don't have debugging set up, I don't have testing set up, so I'm sure at some point I'm gonna go on a journey to figure that out. Mojo School, I've never heard of that, Brandon. And I wouldn't really consider myself a low-level guy. Like I primarily have just been doing web development stuff. Gordak, started with C, then Java, then C#. Nice. Man, you've been making moves. I like C# a lot. I'm kind of a little bit of a shill for more people to learn C#. I think maybe if you started learning C# 10 years ago, you should try to like come back to it and try again, because I think modern C# is actually really enjoyable. Brandon, low-level Python, essentially. Okay, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. KI4K. I don't know how to say your name. Key4. I'm just going to call you Key4. Do you know how to use the debugger? I do know how to use the debugger. I'm a big fan of debugging. I know it's kind of weird because I used to work primarily in VS Code, right? But then I made a switch at the beginning of this year to work a little bit in NeoVim. And it seems like most people who are working in NeoVim are not using the debugger. Or if they're using the debugger, they're not using NeoVim. Which is kind of interesting because I went on this like whole rabbit hole of like getting the debugger set up to work with NeoVim for C# development and setting it up for JavaScript to work on both the server and the client. I made a bunch of videos about it on my YouTube channel. Like one of my favorite development activities is debugging tests. So like I need my editor to be able to support debugging tests. But it seems like that's not a thing. It seems like a lot of people are using NeoVim are doing just printf debugging or console.log debugging, which, I mean, it's not wrong. You can definitely do that, right? You can definitely be productive doing that. It's just not my preferred thing. Brandon, how do you feel about NVim? Never been able to commit fully. Too much technical debt for me to justify. How do I feel about it? That's a good... No one's asked me that yet. I've been using it for 3 months. I like it, but I understand why a lot of people don't use it. Because it was a lot of work to build something that was of parity to VS Code. And it will probably never be of parity to something like Visual Studio if you're a .NET developer, or IntelliJ if you're a Java developer. You probably can't get it to be quite there in most cases. There's just some things, obviously, right? Especially Visual Studio for .NET devs. Like, there's just some things that VS can do because it's purpose built. But I've had a lot of fun, I should say, with NeoVim. I've had a lot of fun. It's interesting to be exposed to a different way of thinking about how to be productive. I think the biggest benefit has been learning Vim Motions, because I didn't know Vim Motions. So that's something I think I'll probably keep with me regardless of what editor I use, is Vim Motions. I think the more keyboard-centric workflow has been a huge plus. Huge plus. Brandon, that makes sense. That's currently why I use Mac over Linux. Yeah, see, and that's actually, Brandon, it took me the longest time to ever actually try NeoVim, because I just didn't want to go through the rabbit hole of the configuration, and I wasn't 100% certain I could get it to a place where it was on parity with what I was using, which was VS Code. And what convinced me to give it a try, if you ever get the bug, was Typecraft. So I found he has a course called NeoVim for Noobs. Where is it? Yeah, right here. This guy. This was the playlist. One night I literally watched all 6 videos, and after watching those 6 videos, I was like, okay, I think I can make this work. Obviously, like I said, I kind of went down a rabbit hole because he doesn't show you like anything specific to really JavaScript or C#, but this was kind of what got me started. This was what convinced me to take a shot at it. But yes, like you said, Brandon, I like Linux, but configuration is strenuous. The same thing as with NeoVim. It's strenuous. Oh, yes. Here, yep. Let me share that. This is yeah. Well, I'm going to put it in the coding channel. For those curious about NeoVim, this is what got me over the hump to actually give it a go. There you go. Yep, it's in the Discord now. Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot to do that. How do I... Let's see. How... Oh, I guess I can invite you, can I? There you go. I sent you an invite. Got codes. Okay, nice. Very cool. All right, peoples. Well, my nose is running and my throat is burning, so I think that's gonna do it for this evening. I appreciate y'all who have hung out with me. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you guys to hang out with me and chat and talk. I know I wasn't very productive from a coding perspective, but I'm sure I'll have ups and downs when it comes to productivity on stream. Because the more you guys chat, the more I chat, and then the less I code, and it's a whole thing. So, for those of you who are newer, I do try to go live every day around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know it's kind of middle of the day, but that's kind of where I'm trying to aim to be consistent with streaming at. So if you see me around, stop by and say hi. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.